Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good
So,
evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let us thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His blessing and guidance so that we can gather here today in good health and happiness. Welcome to today's symposium entitled Mastering the Art of Speaking in English, Tips for Clarity and Coherence. Speaking English is an important skill in education, work, and daily communication. However, many learners still find it difficult to express their ideas clearly and logically. Because of this, learning how to speak with clarity and coherence is very important. Today, we have three speakers who will discuss different aspects of this topic. Our first speaker is Mr. Ahmed, who will discuss clarity in English speaking. Our second speaker is Miss Yunita, who will discuss coherence in English speaking. And our third speaker is Miss Atika, who will discuss practical ways to improve speaking skill. We also have Miss Satika, who will act as our audience and audience respondent. Without further ado, let us begin with our first speaker. Please welcome Mr. Ahmed.
okay, thank you very much, Ms. Reni. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful night. As for tonight, I would like to talk about clarity with regards to mastering the art of English speaking. Now, clarity, in simple terms, simply means speaking in a way that other people can easily understand. Now, when we speak clearly, listeners can understand our message without confusion. Now, on the other hand, speaking in an unclear manner, it tends to create a serious amount of misunderstanding and, of course, so some unnecessary confusion to the listener. Now, to avoid that, there are several ways that we can improve clarity. Okay, so, first is to speak at a comfortable speed. Now, many English learners speak way too fast because there may be several factors. Sometimes they are nervous. Sometimes they are not used to speaking slowly, or they're trying to convey their message, but the words are coming out slower than the concepts that are being formed in their brain. As a result, listeners may not understand them very well. For example, if a student says, right, like I went to the market yesterday and bought something, it's a bit confusing. And sometimes it may be easier for Indonesians to speak fast, but when they learn a new language, they need time to process that language. The word needs time to be pronounced properly. And if you speak really quickly, these sentences may be difficult to understand. However, if the student speaks slowly and clearly, listeners can understand every word. So that's the first part. And the second part is to pay attention to pronunciation. Now, good pronunciation helps listeners understand our message. For example, if you pronounce the word three, the number three, as tree, some people they can't pronounce the letter th, like th, th. They couldn't pronounce it, so they would pronounce it as tree, which is a tree. you know, it's different as opposed to the number three. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to sound exactly like native speakers. You don't have to sound like an American or like a British person. You can sound like an Indonesian, or you can sound like a Chinese or Arabian, or even sound like an Indian with a heavy Indian accent. It's not a problem. The important thing is that we need to pronounce the words clearly enough to be understood, to make a distinction between similar words that have almost similar pronunciation. Clear enough to avoid misunderstanding and clear enough to avoid confusion. So that's the second part. The third part is to use simple vocabulary. Some students think that by using difficult words, it makes them sound sophisticated and therefore intelligent. But in reality, communication is more important than showing off, someone's extensive vocabulary or using words that maybe only the speaker understands. Makes no sense. So, for example, saying, I am currently experiencing a severe state of detrimental exhaustion. For goodness sake, just say, I am tired. That's it. You know, it's way easier. It's way less confusing. Obviously, the latter is easier to understand. You know. And lastly, to improve clarity, one must speak confidently. Like confidence helps us communicate more effectively. And it also pushes us to bounds that inadvertently help improve our clarity. Even if we make small mistakes, listeners usually focus on our message. Now, according to Stephen Krashen, a well-known language researcher, people learn languages more effectively when communication is understandable and meaningful. And this idea shows that clarity is very important in successful communication. And in a nutshell, clarity can be improved by speaking clearly, pronouncing words correctly, using simple vocabulary, and speaking with confidence. So, this will be all from me as speaker one. Thank you for your attention. And I now invite Ms. Unita to continue the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Today, I would like to talk about coherence in English speaking. Coherence means arranging our ideas in logical and meaningful ways so that listeners can easily understand what we are saying. A speaker may have good pronunciation and grammar. If the ideas are not connected properly, the audience may become confused. There are several ways to improve coherence in speaking. First, start with clear introduction. Let the audience know what your topic is about. For example, today I would like to talk about the benefits of reading books. First, reading improves vocabulary. Second, reading increases knowledge. Third, reading develops critical thinking skill. Because the ideas are presented in order, the audience can follow the speech more easily. Third, use transition words. Transition words help connect one idea to another. Some common examples are first, next, then, furthermore, in addition, and finally. For example, first, exercise keeps us healthy. Next, it helps reduce stress. Finally, it improves our overall well-being. These words make the speech smoother and easier to understand. Fourth, stay focused on the topic. Sometimes speakers suddenly move to an unrelated subject. This can confuse listeners. For example, if we are discussing education, we should not suddenly start talking about football unless it is connected to our point. Staying on topic helps audience follow our message. According to Michelle Holliday, a well-known language expert, coherence helps people understand how ideas are connected. When ideas flow naturally from one point to another, communication becomes more effective. In daily life, coherence is important when giving presentation, participating in discussion, telling story, or even having simple conversation with friends. If our ideas are organized well, people can understand us more easily. In conclusion, coherence is an important part of effective English speaking. By using a clear introduction, organizing ideas logically, using transition words, and staying focused on the topic, we can communicate our message successfully. Thank you for listening. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Atika to present her topic.
Thank you, Miss Unita. Good evening, everyone. Today, I will talk about practical ways to improve English speaking skills. As we know, many students want to speak English more confidently, but sometimes they do not know where to start. We have learned that clarity and coherence are important. However, these skills do not improve automatically. They require regular practice and effort. So, here are some practical ways to improving speaking skills. The first, practice speaking every day. Even just 10 to 15 minutes each day can make a difference. For example, students can describe their daily activities in English. These simple habits can help build confidence and fluency over time. Second, listen to English regularly. Students can watch English video, movies, or podcasts. Listening helps learners become familiar with pronunciations, vocabulary, and also sentence patterns. Another benefit is that students can learn how native speakers express their ideas naturally. Third, students can use a technique called shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a speaker and immediately repeating what they say. For example, if a speaker says, "Good morning, today I would like to discuss education," students repeat the sentence immediately. This technique can improve pronunciations, fluency, and speaking confidence. Fourth, recording your voice can be very helpful. Many students do not realize their mistakes until they hear themselves speaking. By recording and listening again, students can identify areas for improvements and track their progress. And finally, students should participate in discussions whenever possible. Joining discussions give learners opportunities to use English in real situations and also develop their communication skill. This idea is supported by Albert Bandura's social learning theory, which explains that people learn through observations, imitations, and practice. In other words, the more we practice and interact with others, the more our speaking skill improve. And last, in conclusions, students can improve their speaking skills through daily practice, listening activities, shadowing, self-recording, and also participations in discussion. Remember, improving speaking skills takes time. So do not be afraid to make mistakes and keep practicing. Okay, thank you for your attention. Back to Miss Reni.
Okay, thank you very much for all of our speakers for their insightful and informative presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now heard there are three interesting perspectives on how to become more effective English speakers. From this presentation, we can see that effective communication is not only about speaking clearly, but also organizing ideas logically and continuously developing speaking skill through practice. At this point, we would like to hear an audience perspective regarding the ideas that the presenter have been presented. We are fortunate to have Ms. Sartika as our audience respondent today. She will share her observation and question for our speakers. Without further ado, I would like to invite Ms. Sartika to deliver her response. Ms. Sartika, you may begin.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to all speakers for the informative presentation. I learned my useful things for today's discussion. However, I would like to share some observation and question. First, speaker 1 explained that pronunciation is important. I agree with this point. However, many English learners are afraid of making pronunciations. My question is, can communication still be successful even if pronunciation is not perfect? Second, speaker 2 explained the importance of coherence. I also agree with this point. However, Many students become nervous during conversation. When people are nervous, they often forget their ideas. How can students remain coherent during spontaneous speaking? Third, speaking three, oh, speaker three explains that religious practice. I completely agree that practice necessary. However, I wonder whether students might develop bad habit if they practice with download guys. These are my observation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sartika. We will now proceed to the rebuttal session. I invite Ms. Yunita to respond first.
Thank you. I agree with Mr. Ahmed that pronunciation is important. However, I believe clarity alone is not. For example, a speaker may pronounce every word correctly, but if the ideas jump from one topic to another, listeners may still become confused. As Michael Holiday explained, communication becomes effective when ideas are logically connected. Therefore, clarity and coherence should work together. Thank you.
Okay, can I answer what Miss Yunita said? Thank you for both speakers, Mr. Ahmed and also Miss Yunita. I agree with both previous speakers, but however, I believe practice is the foundation of improvements. Students can learn pronunciations and organization through repeat practice. Without practice, it is difficult to develop either clarity or coherence. Based on Albert Bandura's theory, also supports the importance of learning through observations and also repeated actions. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you. I appreciate the opinions of both speakers. I agree that coherence and practice are important. However, I still must insist that listeners, first of all, hear our words before they even evaluate our ideas. If pronunciation is unclear, communication may fail, even if the ideas are correct. Therefore, clarity still remains as one of the most important elements of speaking. Now, with regards to the question by Ms. Sartika, can communication still be successful even if pronunciations are perfect? Yes, it can still be successful. The real question is, should we allow it to become a norm? Should we allow it to be normal that we practice with bad pronunciation? My answer is no. Once a broken language is considered a linguistic norm, that is where uh, hindrance to improve emerges. That's where people don't want to improve. They think that this is enough. So yes, communication can still be successful, but improving should always be of priority. If we ever have any intent to learn language, so that'll be from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to all speakers. Now we will move to the question and answer sessions. Ka, please present your question. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you. I question for I question for Mr. Ahmed, which in more important, grammar or fluency?
All right. Well, in my opinion, I think both are important. both grammar and fluency are important. However, communication should be the first priority. If listeners understand our message, communication has already succeeded. As I mentioned before, that clarity is also of priority. Grammar can improve gradually through constant practice. That's what I think of the importance of grammar fluency. I will return back to the audience.
Okay, thank you. I question for Miss Atika. How can students overcome fear when speaking English?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Saftika, for the questions. How can students overcome fear when speaking English? My answer is students should remember that making mistake is a normal part of learning. Nobody becomes fluent immediately. The more we practice speaking, the more confident we become. Maybe just that's my answer.
Okay, thank you. And I question Miss Yunita. How can students improve coherence in daily conversation?
Thank you, Miss. Using simple transition words such as next and can help our. That's all from me.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you to all participants. Based on today's discussion, we may tentatively conclude that effective English speaking requires three important elements. The first, clarity helps listeners understand our words and message. Second, coherence helps listeners follow our ideas logically. Third, continuous practice helps learners develop both clarity and coherence. Although each speaker focused on a different aspect, all of these aspects work together to create successful communication. Before closing, allow me to summarize today's symposium. Mr. Ahmed discussed the importance of clarity, pronunciation, simple vocabulary, and confidence. Ms. Yunita discussed coherence, logical organization, and transition words. Ms. Atika discussed practical way to improve speaking skill through daily practice and active participation. And Ms. Sartika also provided valuable observation and thoughtful questions that enriched the discussion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the end of our symposium entitled Mastering the Arts of Speaking in English, the Tips for Clarity and Coherence. On behalf of all participation, I would like to thank everyone for their attention and participation. We hope today's discussions has been useful and inspiring. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening and have a pleasant day.